Swoop Flies South, written by Samriti Prasadam Halls, illustrated by Clara Anganusi. The long summer was drawing to a close, and an icy polar chill was in the breeze. "Time to begin our journey," announced Mama Swallow, as swallows gathered from all around. Swoop blinked her bright eyes. "Where are we going?" "We must fly south to spend the next few months in a warmer climate. Winter is on its way, and food will soon be hard to find. We must go where there is plenty for us to eat." With that, the swallows swept high into the sky and were on their way. "It's a dangerous journey," said Mama Swallow. "Stay close, fly with the flock, and you will be safe." But Swoop was having far too much fun, soaring over fields and lakes to listen. "Watch out!" Mama called quickly. Swoop hadn't seen the tall building ahead. She dodged past just in time. "That was close," she thought, ducking under the zigzag power lines that crossed their path. As the flock soared high over the Pyrenees mountains, temperate forests turned into fresh alpine tundra. A sweet scent rose from the flower-filled meadows as Swoop darted after juicy flies, midges and a tasty wasp or two. "This isn't so hard," she called. But Swoop's words disappeared into a mighty gust of wind as they crossed out to sea. A storm had broken, and waves tossed restlessly on the water. Swoop's small wings struggled against the wind as she felt herself being pulled far away from Mama, away from her family, away from her flock, and closer to the frothing foam. Swoop knew she must fight with all her might, and with one final surge of strength, she escaped the cruel wind. Shaken but relieved, Swoop was soon gliding across North Africa. The sun felt hotter and hotter, and the flying insects on which she'd been happily feeding became fewer and fewer. "I'm so tired and hungry. Can't we stop for a while?" she asked. But there were no trees where they could perch. Beneath their wings, the scorching desert sands of the Sahara stretched out like a shimmering blanket of gold. Just then, a flash of dark brown streaked down from high above. "Quick, Swoop! Fly as quickly as you can!" screamed Mama. A hawk was on their tail in search of a meal. Although she was utterly exhausted, Swoop flew faster and harder than ever before. At last, she left the hawk's high-pitched screech far behind, and when Swoop dared to look back, she knew she was safe. "Not far to go now," called Mama Swallow to the flock, as they crossed the equator and a leafy, lush tropical rainforest unfolded beneath them. Swoop heard a crash of leaves as a troop of monkeys swung through the canopy and a flourish of colourful parrots burst into the air. As the rainforest thinned, Swoop finally saw the place that would be home for the coming months. The African savanna stretched before her. The pale golden grassland was dotted with small, flat-topped trees, and the air hummed and buzzed with food. Their journey had been long and tiring. All the birds were hungry and in need of a good rest. They quickly set about finding food and making their homes. "What a long journey," said Swoop, as she settled into her new nest. "I'm glad we're home now." "Home for a little while," said Mama. "But don't forget, we'll fly north again in the spring. England is a safer place to raise chicks. Swoop nodded excitedly. And this time, I'm going to lead the way.